Write for Business. This is the show that teaches you how to write the right words to get more leads, conversions, and customers into your business. Today, we're talking about the wonderful world of search engine optimized copywriting. We're going to give you tips and tricks on how to write copy that pleases humans and the Google gods.
That came up in just a moment, but before we begin, Kate, I know that some people watching at home are going to be wondering, where's your lovely accent from?
Well, I was born in Manchester in England, but I've been here for about 17 years. And where's yours from?
My accent, my lovely accent is from Sydney, Australia, born and bred.
I always had that down as a bit of a South African accent.
Yes, well, I love South African people, so that makes sense.
Yes, I guess it does. Let's get started.
Woohoo.
So, woohoo! Today, how to write SEO-friendly copy to make Google love your website. It's very important to have Google love your website, because if Google doesn't love your website, then no one else will find it.
Who will? Yeah.
Who will, exactly. So look, there's a picture of me in this dress.
Oh my God, do you own more than one dress?
This is the only dress I have.
Sure.
Really, I don't get paid much as a copywriter.
I believe it.
I just have to have this one dress. So what is SEO copywriting? Essentially, it's about writing useful and compelling content that really answers your customers' questions. Of course, it needs to target specific keywords, and we're going to talk about that today. And what you want to do is produce content that people will gladly promote, people will share, and people will link to. It's also about writing content that builds your authority and builds your brand. And obviously, the main thing that people focus on is writing copy that improves your ranking in Google's index. So it's kind of all those things, quite a lot of things.
It's all those things. I do want to just tell a very brief story. This is how I found about you.
Did you Google me?
I Googled copywriter.
Oh, yes.
And Kate, you were ranked on...
I own it.
The first listing, probably a couple of the listings on the first page of Google for such a one-word term, copywriter, which is phenomenal. And that's how I first found out about you. So people watching at home, Kate knows her stuff when it comes to SEO, copywriting and SEO in general.
Yeah, I worked quite hard at it. When I first became a copywriter, I did the exact same thing. I set up on my own and I Googled copywriter, and about 40,000 results came back. And
Wow.
I was like, how the heck am I ever going to get any business? There's so many competitors. So I took the learnings that I'd got from agency land, applied them to my own business, and really worked hard at my SEO. And now I kind of rank for about 200 words on the first page, positions 1 to 3. Not that I'm boasting, but I kind of am, just a little bit.
If there's anywhere to boast, it's this show.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a topic that you certainly know a lot
So
about.
at least proof is in the pudding or something like that. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of SEO experts, people who get up on stage and say they're SEO experts, or even working for companies. Most of them are, not necessarily, doing what they say they're doing.
You have to walk the talk and talk the walk.
You definitely do
something
both.
Like that.
And
anyway,
moonwalk.
So I think I'm going to give some really big, important tips. So if you want to just watch these bits and then turn the show off, that's fine. Because these are the two most important points that I want to make. So the first is that you should write compelling content first and then optimize. So what I mean by that is, write for humans first and Google second. Humans drive the internet. Humans drive the index. And Google uses indicators from real people to influence their index. So how Google works is it has a little bot that goes out and crawls all the websites on the interwebs. And it comes back and it indexes those. And it uses about 200 different factors in its algorithm to decide whether my website should go above your website. And one of them is how popular we are. And obviously, I'm way more popular than you. So that's...
In her own mind.
In my own mind. So before we get started, I just want to cover off some things that you need to have covered before you get stuck into your SEO. The first thing, oh my gosh, I think we say this every episode.
Have a clear idea about your, let's say it together.
Customer needs or audience?
Audience. That
didn't
fail.
We should practice
Target
more.
market. Okay,
Target,
on 3.
Well, it says customer needs.
1, 2, 3.
Target market. Maybe
Yeah.
we could just do like jazz hands every time we say that.
Okay.
So you have to understand your audience. You have to understand what they're searching for. There's lots of different ways you can go through that. We're not going to go through keyword research today. There's a whole nother episode. We're going to assume that you have a pretty good understanding of what your customers are searching for, that you've done some keyword research using Google AdWords and other tools. And also that you set yourself realistic expectations. Some people think, I'm going to write this piece of SEO optimized copy and bam, I'm going to be on the first page in the first 3 results. SEO is a slow burner. It can take a while to build up momentum. So set realistic expectations and then you won't be depressed.
I do want to add one thing to that. It was a great analogy I heard somewhere on the internet about SEO, that SEO is the farmer. So that you're planting the seeds so that, come harvest, which might be in 6 months, a year, or even next year, you may have harvest some real produce. Whereas if you want instant results, you need traffic next week. Well, that's SEM, search engine marketing, or search
Google
engine
AdWords.
advertising.
Yep.
You can pay for that and
Yeah.
you can get results.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the hunter.
I like that.
The hunter is the quick shot, needs a, dinner
Right.
tonight. The farmer is the SEL, search engine optimization process.
There you go. That's interesting. I like that. Another analogy that I like, because we do love our analogies.
We
on the
do
show.
love them.
We love our stats. We love our analogies.
Yeah.
Is that SEO is like a big flywheel, and you might not know what a flywheel is, but if you're in a factory, you get these big, heavy metal wheels that take a long time to get turning. It can be really hard at first with SEO and SEO copywriting to feel like you've got any momentum. But once you have got that momentum, once the big, heavy wheel is turning, it just takes a little push every now and again to keep it going.
Yeah, great.
So that, I think we maybe fit in another analogy before the end of the show.
I'm sure we can squeeze one in.
So we are farmers, not hunters. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is structuring your website. What you need to do is create a website that's easy for Google to understand and easy for it to crawl through. And the example that I often use is the pyramid structure. And I've got a little picture of that to show you in a second. What you need to do is give each page in your site a very clear focus. So don't try and cover off too many things on a single page. Try and keep them single-minded if you can. And try not to create competition between pages. So if you sell blue widgets, try just to have one page about blue widgets rather than 16 different pages about blue widgets. Google is a simple creature. If it finds you have 16 pages about blue widgets, it's not going to know which one is the most important unless you tell it. So let me show you my pyramid.
Yeah.
And this is borrowed from the guys at Yoast. And Yoast have an excellent SEO plugin that you can use on your WordPress website if you use WordPress.
Yes.
So it just shows the pyramid structure. And what it's saying is, you have your home page at your top. And underneath that, a set amount of categories. I always go for no more than about 8 categories or 8 levels, 8 sections underneath my home page. Then underneath that you have pages, multiple pages, and then you have your longer tail pages, your blog pages. So it's a clear flow down from top to bottom. The other analogy, I knew there would be room for another one,
yes.
is those like towers of champagne glasses where you pour the champagne in the top? It's the same thing. Imagine that SEO juice being poured in the top and you want it to flow down to all the champagne glasses below. You don't want it all to flow into one glass. You don't want half the glasses to remain empty, so you need a nice clear structure that gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I love this example. Maybe we could quickly go into what some of these pages might be.
Yeah.
So if it was for your site, for example, or another site you might want to use.
Well, if you're a kind of a business owner and say you're a plumber, on your homepage, you're going to have your brand messaging, your big statements, your phone number, and then underneath that, you might have service areas or things that you do. So you might have about, which explains the history of the company.
So that would be a category.
That would be a category, and then you have your services page where you list all your services. You might have an FAQ page, a contact page, and then you might have a next level down. So beneath services, because you've got more than one service, you might have 5 or 6 pages underneath that. And then these long tail pages, well, they're more your blog posts. And we talked about blogs in a previous episode. So your blog gives you opportunity to have lots and lots of pages that go after longer and longer phrases. We're going to talk more about keyword phrases in a minute.
Great.
But just having a clear structure that's easy for Google to understand and easy for it to crawl
Excellent.
through.